A book in 10 minutes presents. The Prince and the Pauper, by Mark Twain. Introduction to the author. Mark Twain, the pen name of Samuel Langhorne Clemens, is one of America's most beloved writers. Born on November 30, 1835, in Florida, Missouri, Twain grew up in the small town of Hannibal, Missouri, which would later serve as the setting for some of his most famous works. Twain is best known for his novels, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, both of which capture the essence of American life along the Mississippi River in the mid-19th century. His sharp wit, keen social observation, and mastery of vernacular speech have earned him a lasting place in the canon of American literature. Twain's writing often explores themes of childhood, societal norms, and the human condition, all wrapped in humor and satire. He was also a keen observer of human nature and social injustices, which is evident in many of his works, including The Prince and the Pauper. Overview of The Prince and the Pauper. Published in 1881, The Prince and the Pauper is a historical novel set in 16th century England. The book is a departure from Twain's usual settings in America, as it delves into the lives of two boys who are identical in appearance but come from vastly different social backgrounds. One boy, Tom Canty, is a pauper living in Offal Court, a poor district of London, while the other, Edward Tudor, is the Prince of Wales and heir to the English throne. The novel explores themes of identity, class disparity, and the arbitrary nature of social status. Through the story of the two boys switching places, Twain critiques the societal structures of his time and emphasizes the innate value and dignity of every individual, regardless of their social standing. Summary of the novel. The beginning. The novel begins with the birth of Edward Tudor, the long-awaited son of King Henry VIII, who is welcomed with great rejoicing throughout England. On the same day, in a much poorer part of London, Tom Canty is born to a poor family living in squalor. Tom grows up in harsh conditions, constantly abused by his father and grandmother, but he dreams of a better life and is fascinated by stories of royalty. Tom's life changes when he ventures out to Westminster and has a chance encounter with Prince Edward at the palace gates. The two boys, curious about each other's lives and struck by their identical appearances, decide to switch clothes for a short while. This simple act leads to a series of misunderstandings and adventures. The switch. When Tom, dressed as the prince, is mistakenly thrown out of the palace by the guards, he finds himself in a world he has only read about. Meanwhile, Edward, dressed in Tom's rags, is unable to convince anyone of his true identity. He is treated harshly by Tom's father and experiences the brutality of life in the streets of London. Tom, despite his initial fear and confusion, gradually adapts to life in the palace. He tries to maintain the ruse while also making efforts to introduce reforms and show kindness to the people around him. Edward, on the other hand, faces numerous challenges but remains determined to reclaim his rightful position. Adventures and challenges. Edward's journey is fraught with danger and hardship. He is kidnapped by John Canty, Tom's father, who believes Edward is his son and tries to force him to beg. Edward manages to escape and finds an ally in Miles Hendon, a kind but impoverished nobleman who protects and helps him. Together, they travel across the country, with Edward learning firsthand about the suffering and injustice faced by his subjects. Meanwhile, Tom, in the guise of the prince, struggles with the complexities of court life and the responsibilities of royalty. His natural intelligence and goodness shine through, and he gains the admiration of many at court. However, he is constantly haunted by the fear of being discovered and the desire to return to his own life. The climax. The climax of the novel occurs at the coronation of Edward as king, following the death of Henry VIII. Both boys make their way to Westminster Abbey, where Tom, unable to go through with the coronation, declares that he is not the true prince. Edward steps forward, and with the help of Tom and a series of identifying marks and items, proves his identity. The true prince is restored to his rightful place as King Edward VI, and Tom is rewarded for his honesty and bravery. The resolution. In the end, Edward, now king, ensures that Tom and his family are well taken care of, and he makes Miles Hendon a noble. Edward's experiences as a pauper make him a more compassionate and just ruler. Tom returns to his family, but with a new perspective and opportunities thanks to the king's generosity. The novel concludes with a reflection on the arbitrary nature of social status and the essential humanity that connects all people, regardless of their position in life. Lessons from the novel. The arbitrary nature of social status. One of the central themes of The Prince and the Pauper is the arbitrary nature of social status. Twain illustrates how easily one's life can be changed by circumstances of birth and chance. Through the experiences of Edward and Tom, Twain shows that the differences between the rich and the poor are not based on inherent worth or ability but rather on luck and societal constructs. This theme encourages readers to question and challenge the rigid social hierarchies and to recognize the potential and humanity in everyone. Empathy and understanding. The novel also emphasizes the importance of empathy and understanding. Edward's journey through the streets of London opens his eyes to the suffering and injustice faced by his subjects. This newfound empathy makes him a more compassionate and fairer ruler. Similarly, Tom's time in the palace helps him understand the responsibilities and burdens of leadership. Both boys grow and learn from their experiences, highlighting the value of stepping into another person's shoes. The value of integrity and honesty. Tom's honesty at the coronation is a pivotal moment in the novel. Despite the personal risks, he chooses to reveal the truth about his identity. This act of integrity is rewarded and serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of honesty. Twain suggests that living truthfully and with integrity is ultimately more rewarding than living a lie, even if it seems advantageous in the short term. The critique of monarchy and power. Twain subtly critiques the monarchy and the concentration of power in the hands of a few. By showing the arbitrary nature of Edward's and Tom's situations, Twain questions the legitimacy of a system that grants immense power based on birthright. The novel suggests that true leadership should be based on merit and compassion rather than hereditary privilege. The role of kindness and compassion. Throughout the novel, acts of kindness and compassion play crucial roles in the characters' journeys. Miles Hendon's protection of Edward, despite not believing his royal claims initially, exemplifies the impact of kindness. Similarly, Tom's efforts to be a benevolent prince and Edward's eventual fair rule are grounded in their compassion for others. Twain underscores that kindness and compassion are essential qualities for both individuals and leaders. The importance of education and knowledge. Tom's fascination with books and stories about royalty highlights the transformative power of education and knowledge. Despite his impoverished circumstances, Tom's intellectual curiosity and desire for learning enable him to navigate the complexities of court life. Twain advocates for the accessibility of education for all, suggesting that it can open doors and empower individuals to rise above their circumstances. The human condition and shared humanity. At its core, The Prince and the Pauper is a story about the human condition and shared humanity. Twain emphasizes that, regardless of social status, all people have the same basic needs, desires, and potential for goodness. The novel encourages readers to look beyond superficial differences and to recognize the common humanity that connects us all. Conclusion. The Prince and the Pauper is a timeless tale that continues to resonate with readers today. Through the adventures of Edward and Tom, Mark Twain explores profound themes such as social inequality, empathy, integrity, and the arbitrary nature of social status. The novel is not only an engaging and entertaining story but also a powerful social commentary that challenges readers to think critically about the structures and values of their own society. Twain's masterful storytelling and keen social insight ensure that The Prince and the Pauper remains a relevant and thought-provoking work of literature. If you like the content, please support us by liking the content, subscribing to the channel, and activating the notification bell to receive the content when it is uploaded.